I remember first reading Bleach. It was around the time I first started to watch anime outside the one I grew up with. One of the first shonen I got out of my way to watch. Well, that and Fairy Tail. Let's say that shonen wise, if Dragon Ball is my childhood, then Bleach and Fairy Tail were the one that defined my teenage year. Well, with Naruto, but it's kinda different for Naruto. Naruto is the manga that seemed to follow me all my life. I mean, even today it continues in a way with Boruto. But this video isn't about Naruto. It isn't even about One Piece if you would believe it. It's about Bleach and why it's special. Not that the other aren't, mind you. You see, classic shonen are pretty episodic in their arc. Yes, the storyline continues from one arc to the next, but the villain in those arcs always feel disconnected from each other. But with Bleach, everything seemed to click with each other in a way. And I know I am pretty vague, but see it that way now. In the case of Bleach, you could say it only has two saga that make up the entire story. And it's because of Aizen, making Bleach feel up until his downfall like one big arc. And this is why when you start reading it, especially reading it as the anime kinda changed the manga pacing, the story is written in a way where it's impossible to stop reading the next chapter. Even if at some point it's kind of funny how everything falls into place. And no other show yet made me quite feel that way. I will explain why. Well, now that this is out of the way, we need to go back to the beginning. I will also try not to recap the whole thing, but to tell you enough to prove my point and to explain what I am saying. So I will skip or simplify some part of the story, so don't expect a full recap. Okay, it's good with you? Let's start. Bleach starts with Rukia giving Ichigo her power, because giving her power to Ichigo has left her powerless to protect the world from the Hollow. The responsibility fell into Ichigo's hand, as he has now the power of a Soul Reaper. And because she gave up her power saving his family, he feels like it's his duty to do it, and they become friends. This let him in return meet new friend and learn about why he has the ability to see ghosts. So when she is sentenced to death because she gave her power to Ichigo, Ichigo and his friend want to save her. Ichigo need to save her. They are friends, but more than that, she is punished for saving Ichigo's family. The two arcs are linked from the very start of the first episode that set up not only the first arc, but the second too. So now they go to Soul Society to save Rukia, making the story flow really well together. And all this came crashing down at the end of the arc, where you find out that everything was according to Aizen's plan, making the start of Bleach not only something that connect motivation-wise with the Soul Society arc, but also that was the effect of Aizen, causing Rukia from losing her power after sharing them with Ichigo. You see what I mean? The two arcs are written in a way where they could just be one big arc. And it doesn't stop here. Soon after in the manga, in the anime you get filler that disrupt the flow of the story, but in the manga you get soon after the Soul Society arc, just after Aizen told everyone his plan, that everything was his plan. Two Hollow that worked for him show up in Karakura Town and they destroy Ichigo, showing us that Aizen did mean what he said, that he was coming and that nothing Ichigo could do could stop him, that he wasn't the one saving anymore. Do you understand what it meant as someone reading that? That Aizen was coming, that he was coming now, and this kept me hooked. It felt like part 2 of an arc, like the next step of a plan. So Ichigo did the only thing he could to get stronger. He went and tried to control his Hollow, something that was teased in the past arc, and that will come into play later. He learned to control it and even won against the 6th strongest Hollow. Well, at first that Hollow came to Earth and beat Ichigo, to reinforce that the Hollow could come anytime. But that second time, it wasn't even a contest. And then, Orihime was stolen by one of those Hollow. The one Ichigo isn't sure he can beat, and he isn't even the strongest. So Ichigo and his friend went to save her. Ichigo needed to save her. By the end, he had to rely more and more on his hollow form until he almost lost everything, making us feel like the plan of Aizen was taking place right now, and little did we know it was. And the arc was intense and all, but Aizen used the fact that Ichigo was fighting the hollow with his friend to attack Karakura town. And when Ichigo finally came to help, everyone had already lost to Aizen, and he got bested by Gin. Not even Aizen, but not before learning that everything he did was because Aizen let him do it. Everything was Aizen's plan, and not thinking about or going into the logistic of if you believe this level of prediction is possible, the revelation can't help from making you feel even more like everything is part of the same story, like everything from the start is from the same big arc. It was his plan. Everything we read up until that point was decided by Aizen. Ichigo didn't choose a single thing. So when Ichigo broke free of Aizen's expectation and sacrificed his Soul Reaper power to stop Aizen, it didn't felt like the end of an arc, but the end of the manga as a whole, because everything was building to that. It was the end of the first big arc of Bleach. Like Bleach was building something all those years that was just teared down, just like Ichigo's power. And this parallel just made the end of the arc even more powerful to watch. Ichigo lost his power and we lost the driving force behind the story, making Bleach up until that point a truly unique experience. No matter what you thought of Aizen, you gotta agree with me, Bleach wasn't the same after that. And I know you could say One Piece is the same with the Wano saga and all its other saga, for example. And yes, it is, but what made Bleach truly special up until that point was having that level of continuity from the start and having it build for most of the manga runtime. One Piece had many saga. Bleach felt like one saga. When it ended, it felt big. So when the next arc after Aizen seemed to focus on Ichigo getting back his power, it made sense to make the stake of the story less big and to do a time skip, to take it slow again and personal with his friend and family in the focus, while having the time skip show us that we were now truly watching the second part of the story. Plus, because the story was about Ichigo's friend memory being rewritten, it made sense to have a time skip, also to make us uneasy around them. Like, they are the character we know. It's the Bleach we know, but not quite. I know it's not everyone's favorite arc, but I thought it would be cool to point out. And after that, it's the final arc. It's the 1000 Years War arc. If until Aizen defeat we were watching one big story, it's crazy that Bleach chose to end it on another one. But I won't go into the detail of that arc because I don't want to spoil it to you. So this was why Bleach is, or at least was, not like any other shonen. Not because other story or other shonen are not story driven, but because Bleach felt like one big arc that ended with a bang, to then come back slowly but surely into its epic final arc. And I wanted to tell you how cool that was. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you liked the video and to want more video like those. Thanks for watching.